Yes guys, welcome down to Carter Golf. My name is Andy Carter, PGA teacher professional down here at the Golf Academy, and today's lesson is all about the putter. Now if you've been following me for a while, you will know that I am the best putter on YouTube. 100% made up, self-proclaimed. No one's ever said that I am. I've never won a competition, however I believe I am. Right, so I think that's the first thing of putting. You've got to know, you've got to believe you're a good putter. You've got to believe that every time you step over that putt, you're going to hole it. Okay, so this is not a psychology lesson. We're going to get into some nitty-gritty tips here that are going to massively help you with putting. The most important thing about putting is distance control. Now, I have to say, at Jumeirah Golf Estates, I'm on a green, on the 12th green, and I think from front to back, let's say, it's 40 yards. Okay, so pace putting is absolutely paramount. Okay, it's very difficult to understand lines. I think you get the understanding of slope the more you play, the more you kind of understand about how big of a slope is and what the impact it's going to have on the ball. Also, how we relate slope to pace is massively important as well, and that does come with experience, getting out there and just playing and trying to read every single putt. Today's video is 3 amazing tips, and I'm going to say amazing because I genuinely think they are, and I do these with my clients down here at the Golf Academy. I do putting lessons, probably more recently I've done more putting lessons than I've ever given, so they must be working. So it's all about reading greens and then reading pace. So once you've read the green, once you've got an idea of where you think that putt should be going, then you've got to be just fully focused, obsessed with getting the right pace. Okay, drill number 1 is coming in now, and it's coming in hot. Right, I've got 5 golf balls here. Now, you might see the flag in the distance. We're not going to be playing to that just yet. We're going to be doing a little pace drill, very simple. And the idea of this drill, once you've hit your first, take your first putt. Once you've hit your first putt, the idea to get the first putt in and around about, let's say, 6 feet away from you, probably about 7. And then the next putt is going to go past it. Now, what you'll start to see, if you do this on a green on the golf course that's got a bit more slope about it, you're going to have to start to read the slope a little bit to get the ball to finish on a very similar line. So that putt then just moved a little bit from right to left. So I'm going to set the next one slightly to the right of it, and I'm looking to try and get it inside of 3 feet past it. Voila, just like so, okay? And as you can imagine, this is going to get more and more difficult as I go on. So just for the camera's view, I'm going to go on the inside of this one. So I'm going to try and hit the next one approximately 3 foot or so past that. Stop. Pretty good. I'm going to give myself 3.5 foot. That's pretty good. And the next one, we're going to be looking at going past that. So the idea is that not only do you lengthen the actual stroke, you start to feel a little bit more speed in your stroke as well. So trying to figure out exactly how far to go back for each putt. I'm only using the visual here. I don't really know how far I'm hitting my putts, but I'm using the visual of the last putt. I'm using the feel of the last putt. Oh, that last one could have been a little bit more. Using the feel of the last putt, and I'm just trying to get each putt inside of 3 foot past the other one, which is not as easy as you probably might think. So go give that a try. Now we're going into drill number 2. So this brings us up to the flag that you saw in the background. We're effectively going to be going around the clock. Okay, so we've got 5 balls still, and we're going to start the first ball at 10 foot, then 15, 20, 25, and 30. So the goal for this is you've got 10 putts to get all 5 balls into the hole. The 10-footer statistically could drop in, but only maybe 3 or 4 times out of 10. So the stats are definitely not favouring us to hole any of these. However, what's important and what's key on the golf course is this is the region now that you might chip or pitch into. The last thing you want to be doing is pitching or chipping onto a green and then leading up with following on with a 3-putt. That 3-putt is just adding to your scores. Now, you could say that the chip or the pitch wasn't good enough, and I think you'd be right. If you're pitching on or chipping on from inside of 30 yards and you're 30 feet from the hole as a result, then your pitch and your chip wasn't good enough, so go back and keep practicing that area of your game. However, we still want to be 2-putting. All right, so I don't know what greens you guys play on back home, whether you've got sloper greens or you're quite lucky, I would say, with quite flat greens. This is definitely not a flat green. So normally if you go round the hole, you'll find that you can kind of figure out the line based on the last one because the slope's all going in the same direction. This, however, is not. I think we're going to be starting here with a little kind of straightish kind of, well, so slightly uphill, a little tiny bit from left to right. And this is definitely not going to be the case on some of the other putts, so getting the opposite. So I would kind of normally go through the full routine, start getting my pace, start looking. Once I've got my line, I'm looking to the left of the hole because I want to go left to right with it. And now I'm just looking at pace. It's slightly uphill, so I'm using my eyes. I'm looking at my target to the left of the hole and just past the hole to get a feel for my distance control. So I'm using as much visual reference as I possibly can. Having a 2 or 3 looks at the actual hole itself. Off we go, we're in for one. Okay, so it's a solid start. Now, the goal is 10 putts for 5 balls. Now, just because I've held one, doesn't mean I'm still allowed to go and 3 putt. My goal has now been amended to 9, okay? We never, ever, under any circumstances, want to accept a 3 putt. Right, especially on this drill. 30 foot, we still want to be 2 putting. Right, so I'm actually looking at this, although I've moved around the slope, it's actually still left to right and up the hill, so it gives you an idea of kind of how much these greens are actually moving. I do actually have to read a bit of grain on this as well. So again, once I've got my line, I'm happy that it's a little bit left edge, and it's slightly up the hill, so I'm looking left of the hole and past the hole, and I'm literally just staring it out. I'm constantly looking, 1 look, 2 look, 3 look, just trying to get an understanding. It's turned a lot more than I thought. Just trying to get an understanding of what my pace is going to do. Now, that's not left me in any danger. I'm not overly happy with the quality of the attempt, but it's 2. All right, so this is where I definitely think we're in the business end. These are definitely going to be the harder putts, aren't they? We're now at 15 feet. I say approximately because I just paced it out with my own legs. So I don't actually know, but I'm pretty sure a stride is 3 foot. All right, so right to left by the looks of things. Slightly going back up the hill as well. I'm kind of hitting it up into the slope. So again, I'm looking to the right of the hole. I'm not looking at the hole. There's no point looking at the hole because it's not a straight putt. So I'm looking past the hole to the right. Again, I'm staring out that point that I want to make this ball start on. I've got my eyes looking, 1 look down there, 2 looks down there. Firm strike. Oh, it's not made it. I got the line really good. You know what? That's a pretty poor putt, if I'm honest. So the big thing about this drill is actually being able to adapt, being able to kind of change the lie. I've gone from an uphill putt to go from an uphill putt to a downhill putt, which is going to be next, to a right to left. Being able to adapt between different putts and adapt quickly, because every single putt you get on the golf course is going to be different. There's no point going on a putting green and practicing from long range when you might not have that many long ranges out on the golf course, or vice versa. So you've got to be really adaptable. This now, the last one was a 15 foot up the hill right to left. This is for sure 20 foot-ish down the hill from right to left. But I actually feel now I'm going into the wind as well, so I'd start taking the wind into consideration. It doesn't look like the fastest putt in the world, and I left my last one a couple of feet short anyway. So I'm kind of using that a little bit. I kind of cheat a little bit for the drill because it's not very long since I had my last putt. But again, I'm being very visual. I'm going to go to the shadow of the flag here, to the right of the hole. I'm staring out the point I want to hit to. So the shadow of the flag is literally my aim. So 1 look, 2, 3. Decent strike with the putter again, turn. Not a bad effort. I actually just slightly overread it, but it's another 2 putter, and so far we're on 7 with 1 ball to go. All right, so last ball's actually got me off the green, so trying to pace out 30 feet and just ran out of surface. So again, you get this on the golf course though, don't you? So it's very realistic that you could be putting from just off the green. Now, I'm fortunate enough, it's only about a foot, so it's not going to make a huge amount of difference. But if I was a bit further away, I would have to try and take it into consideration how it's going to affect the putt, how it would bounce off the face and how it bounces into the longer grass. So you do have to think about that as well. Now, this is not moving very much, but I'm 30 feet away. So if I'm quite happy there's no real obvious slope, I've kind of always picking a side, say, well, it's not going to go right to left, but it will go a touch left to right. And that's really where I'm thinking, based on the edge of this slope over here, which is not really in my line, but it's having a slight influence on my line, I think. So I'm going to go left to right again from this sort of angle. And now my obsession with pace starts. Okay, so I'm looking at the line, really getting my shoulders rotating, isolating my arms from my body, not allowing the hips to turn. That's the key one, not allowing the lower body, not allowing the hands to rotate, the hips to rotate through the shot. Okay, 2 looks, 3 looks, and away we go. Now, that is not a bad effort at all. Just got it past the hole, so he's kind of give it a chance to go in. 2 putts, and we've managed to, yeah, 2, good. We've managed to win. We've won that game, we've won that drill. I got 9 putts, the goal was 10. Let's get on to drill 3. So this is all about building confidence. Drills 1 and 2 were getting pace, understanding stroke length and speed, and using your visual, using your eyes to try and figure out how much of a stroke you need, how much speed you need to hit the distance you want to hit. Now, a lot of us golfers find ourselves outside of 20 feet from the hole. We're not likely to make it. They might shave the edges, which is amazing, but we want to make sure when they have shaved the edges, they haven't rolled off too far. We've got inside of 3 foot. And this final drill is those second putts. 3 feet from the hole, we're going to circle the hole from 3 foot, 5 balls. The goal is to get 5 out of 5, okay? Can't leave drill number 3 until you've got 5 out of 5, okay? You want to get on that golf course with confidence. If you roll that first putt short, past left or right and leave it 3 feet, we don't want to be shaking as we walk towards the ball. We want to be confident that we're going to hole it. So drill number 3, 3-footers. So I'm going to go for a similar routine for every single putt. I'm going to whiz through these for you. Same routine. I'm going to use my visual. I'm going to have a couple of looks. 1 look, 2 looks, 3 looks. Get used to it. Okay, we're in for 1. These putts still deserve our respect, full attention. They're not just a gimme. That's why your playing partners haven't given it you. 1 look, 2 looks at the hole, 3 looks at the hole. I'm comfortable, I'm lined up. We're in for 2. Whew, got nervous actually. You will get nervous, I tell you this. Try doing it in front of people that you know are going to be watching and judging. Right, line it up. 1 putt, 1 look, 2 looks, lots of practice strokes, full attention, 3 looks. In we go, 3 out of 3, 2 to go. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Every time, same routine. I'm lining the writing up to where I want to hit the putt to. This one's going to be on the right edge. And I'm going to try and get this one dead weight. So we go, 1 look, 2 looks, 3 looks. Dead weight, right edge, dropped in. Last one. Whew. What are those things called? Butterflies. Got them. Bit nervy. Okay, here we go. A pass drill. I'm going to say a pass drill 1, a pass drill 2, this to pass drill 3. Okay, 1 look. Right edge, 2 looks, nice break, 3 looks, good pace. In we go. We did it. Guys, give those 3 drills a try. They are massively important for you lowering scores. Ideally, we're getting those second or third shots inside of 30 feet, so then it gives you a good, viable opportunity to get a 2 putt. We want to avoid those 3 putts. 3 putts out of the way. We don't need them, we don't want them, they don't help the scores. Practice from long distance, practice your adaptability between different lengths of putts. Don't just practice 1 putt, bang, bang, bang. Go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Practice inside of 3 and 4 feet, because that's going to be your second putt radius. Get comfortable, get confident, and scores will lower. Guys, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this tip. Please do follow me on my social media platforms. Click the like button and subscribe to the video, and loads more content to come. If you enjoy the tips, please come back. If you enjoy the challenges, we've got loads lined up for this summer as well, so please do come back and see us in the challenges in those videos as well. Guys, see you soon.